By one of the young players of this Piston team, first-round pick Henry Ellenson.
Interested to see how Ellenson can react. Beautiful layup.
Again, improving his scoring, his shooting. As Gortat works in on the smaller Ellenson and finds on top. Pistons come in 37-43, home record of 24-16, with a nice shot by Marcus. And ahead to Jennings. He is a blur. With Oubre at the other end, and Oubre, who is taken, is Caldwell Pope, who grabs the ball. Detroit has missed their last 4 shots. They come with a Caldwell Pope shot from deep 2-point by Ish Smith, who played at Wake Forest. He's played with a handful of teams. He's open right here, and in Stan Van
contact, and just really fun watching players find out who they are in the midst of this league.
Here's Beal off a screen. Nice 15. We got Smith. Reggie Jackson's been sitting out for the last couple games. Will sit out for the rest of the season. By the Pistons. Oubre inside. A lot of congestion. Another rebound by Gortat. Morris with a 3, and he puts it down.
And you can see by the 2 offensive rebounds on the last play that they weren't playing that hard.
It's a 3-on-2 with transition. Jennings. Nice feed to Beal off the
Found a new home, a speedy home, a place where he can have fun and just let it fly.
And Smith lets it fly with a pass. Drummond.
When you look inside the Drummond and you penetrate, all you have to do is just throw it up. He'll finish it.
Woo! What a pass! What a beautiful right there. Here's Mahimi, and he gets outside to Jason Smith, and his 3 no good. Picked up by Beal. His long-range 3 is down. Side, it was forced by Contavious Caldwell-Pope. Other end, 3 on the fly. Beal, book it. Nice play. It was acquired in that deal with Brooklyn back in mid-February. Pistons have a foul to give. They go inside, and they get it. It's caught by Darren Hilliard, a second-year player from Villanova. With the final seconds here, Satoransky works into Hilliard, and that fadeaway is down. It's been the talk of the league with first-year head coach Scott Brooks, who sat out last year. Before that, the 7 years in Oklahoma City, Bogdanovich. Native Detroiter Chris Webber with us tonight. How privileged are we? Here's Hilliard, gets outside, and driving Tobias Harris.
Get better over the summer. Can I become mentally stronger? And can I help my team win? It's an opportunity.
Detroit's on a 7-0 run. Stopped right there. Wizards on defense. They're number 21 in points allowed, number 24 in field goal defense. They go up high and Drummond.
These guys are playing together. They're assisting each other. And so, yeah, they had a little bit of a slump, but I look at that just as a slump. Their character has been stable all year.
That's a nice drive by Marcus Morris. Going to watch the 20th performance of Neil Diamond in here. That's great.
Got to check it out, baby.
Got to do it. Sweet Caroline outside. Nice catch by Beal. 1 to fire. Good! What a shot by Beal! Morris against Morris. Drummond the screen. The switch on defense, and they're doing more switching defensively. That's over Gortat.
Detailing, we heard Rebecca talk earlier about John Wall taking the onus and putting it up on him, and that's what I like about this changing of culture, starting off on the defensive end. So I look for that to improve, starting with him.
With Markieff Morris, and ends on with a nice spinner.
Well, and I think it is because they have 5 starters to average double figures. So when you have 5 starters to average doubles, and when you have guys like Morris attacking the baskets, getting those tip-ins, those extra possessions, it makes it that much more easier, especially for a guy like Gortat that has to box out 2 or 3 guys down there.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
And really not care about those stats, knowing that any guy can get hot at any time.
Drummond with his 3rd. Beal takes it in with an offhand and will scoop it home. And it was a game that was, they were still kind of in contention, but they did it with a lot of guys that come off the bench. Morris with a 3, he puts it down.
Knows how to come over and get the double team. As long as someone has his back, he can cover you.
Weaving Ish Smith. Ishmael Smith with a pretty play. It's hard to believe he's played for so many teams, but his numbers are very respectable.
It's so funny. I talk to guys often about just staying patient in this league. It's not so much how good of a player you are as to sometimes what's the best fit and situation for you. So his speed, he's found a place where they need his penetration.
Beal, that was a tough shot. Marjanovic got right there. Just come in. Here's Tobias Harris. They look for Caldwell-Pope. It's Hilliard through traffic. Shot clock at 2 over Mahimi. His shot will go. Nice shot by Hilliard. If Jackson can get back to where he was, and they've got Ish Smith, which they will definitely keep, and that's a Satoransky's shot from outside from the Czech Republic. He puts it down. That could be about as good a point guard situation in the league that you're going to find.
I know everyone's going to laugh at what I'm going to say, but don't forget, Reggie Jackson is from the DNA of that OKC team. He's practiced with the Hardens, the Westbrooks, and the Durant. So he should be a little frustrated saying, wait, I've seen it work. I've seen this process. I want to be next.
Harris, I think Marjanovic is the one to tip that in. Let's see who they're going to give it to, and let's give it to him.
Give it to the big fella.
Why not, right? When you're 7-3.
That's right.
A minute to play here in the third.
I tell you what, I held my hand up to his paws, man. He has some big hands. He's big. He's big all over, but he uses those inside to play some pretty good defense.
He was undrafted. There's Mahinmi inside.
Except on that play.
Yeah. Nice move right there by Mahinmi. Missed the first part of this season with some injuries. You know, spotted Mahinmi first was Sam Presti when Sam Presti was with San Antonio. And San Antonio actually drafted him, number 28.
Well, I guess he does know talent. Well, you know, not just because of Durant and other guys. I mean, he saw them in
Tobias Harris.
After it was wonderful, and you see now, years later, how they're, you know, winning division championships. If you're a Pistons fan, hopefully that happens.
Oh, what a nice shot by Stanley Johnson. Wins in a division title for the first time since 1979. 38-year Bulllock, three, good. Reggie Bulllock. He missed 37 games earlier this season with a torn meniscus in his left knee, but coming off a 14-point game last night in Memphis.
Not all players are resting some Pistons players, but this bench of the Pistons really showing up right now, even though the Pistons right now need to learn how to play with each other when in a tie game or down. That means not rushing, going to your staying guys.
Harris, two. Benije, there is no LeBron tonight. Rusty, no Kyrie. There's a nice outside shot once again by Stanley Johnson. No Kyrie, no Love, and no LeBron tonight as the Heat and Cavs are in OT.
Yeah, they're trying to stay in there. You know, it's so funny. We don't talk about Isaiah Thomas when it comes to MVP race. And this guy's team, yeah, mighty size because he can switch off on multiple players from a point guard to the four-man. But also, he's so engaged. He wants to be a defensive stopper.
Look at Stanley Johnson. Nice hesitation. And that ball ricocheted to the side. Satoransky, pocket pass, Mahinmi.
This is who Mahinmi can be. Hopefully he sees value, one, because his team has been winning, the second, in his role. When he sets his screen and cuts directly to the basket, it opens up space for everyone, but more so importantly for him to finish with a strong dunk.
He was a starter last year for the Pacers. Ish Smith.
With the Wizards and the great Phil Chenier, watching him as a player and then hearing him commentate our games, it was just an honor and just happy to have been a part in some way of his broadcasting career.
Got him involved in the transition from player to the booth. He'll move to a different role next season in pregame and postgame, but we say hello to Phil Chenier and Steve Buckhand for great tandem broadcasting. Nice play right inside. Markieff Morris couldn't get a good point. Here comes Ish Smith, who shifts gears. On top, Harris, three, card!
And I'm sorry, and the Wizards are saying, wait a minute, somebody has to call a foul.
Morris over Lure. Good shot, and a tough one, too, as they come into tonight. Bulllock, three. Late close by Smith. Rebounding advantage, Wizards, plus 11. Shot clock at 5. Markieff Morris, what a tough shot. It's down low for Markieff Morris. Lure there. He beat him last time. Kicks it out to Beal. The drive on Johnson. Once the playoffs start. Here is Harris. Marjanovic. Here comes Jennings. Foul to give for Washington. A three. Smith short. Oubre reels it in. And that is all she wrote in the final game in the Palace of Auburn Hills. A 4-point loss to the playoff-bound Washington Wizards.